Namaste, yogis. Welcome to How Yoga Changed My Life, a podcast. This is Natalie, and
This is Nutritious Nora, and you all don't know me, but today we're going to flip the script and we're going to interview Adrienne.
Hey, yogis. How you guys doing? This is kind of different, a little bit different today.
Adrienne wants to talk about what she's been going through, what she is going through in real time, how yoga may or may not be a part of that, playing a role in that, and the wake-up call she got a couple of days ago.
Yeah. So I've been kind of hinting this at the past couple of episodes that there's been something that's going on in my life that I've been dealing with. And this is not to be like, woe is me, trauma dump. Like, here's all this shit that's wrong with me and how amazing I am for getting through it. And I'm so perfect. It's more like, fuck, life is hard, right? Life is hard for all of us. And I would be remiss to not talk about what's going on in my life right now when other people are sharing their stories about how yoga's changed their life or what they're going through in their lives. To sit back and just be quiet. Obviously, as listeners, you guys know that's just not me. I'm not a quiet person. And this is something that for the past few months, I've been kind of struggling with, like, how do I handle this? How do I approach this? How do I get through this? And basically, some of you guys have known about 9 years ago, my husband had a tennis ball size pituitary adenoma, which is a non-cancerous tumor that grew in his pituitary pocket. It killed off his pituitary gland. It had been growing for, we don't know, 10, 15 years. It was not a normal tumor in the sense that it was easy to remove. It was a bleeding tumor. It had eroded the bone between the sphenoid sinus cavity and the brain, and it had pushed into his optic chiasm, so he had trouble seeing. And all of these things happened within a few days of symptoms showing up back 9 years ago. And we were lucky enough and blessed enough to have people in our lives that were at Loyola University in Chicago. Shout out to them, Dr. Germanwala, Dr. Kirshner, Dr. Patel, Dr. Oh my gosh, my brain is going. Just a lot of my Dr. Rulin, Sean Rulin was one of the guys that helped us out the most as well. But these are all doctors that were able to kind of come together and in this emergency situation help save Brian's life. The tumor started bleeding and he ended up having to have the surgery through his nose. And when they went in, they were saying it's only going to be like a 4-hour surgery. It's not a big deal. The surgery ended up being over 9 hours. And it was a big deal because there was so much that they had to deal with the bleeding and with where it was located and how it was growing near the cavernous sinus, which is where, all the blood vessels grow or go up to your brain and down onto your body. So anyway, we went through that traumatic experience a while ago, and there was many things that happened after that, as well as a heart attack from, the medications and lack of medications from hormones and, hormonal imbalances. And so Brian's been, really working hard on his health over the past, 9 years. We've kind of noticed a little change lately and brought him up to see his old doctors in Chicago and have an MRI done in the beginning of September. And found out that the tumor has grown back, which most of the time they do if they're not removed all the way. And it's a pretty aggressively growing tumor that has grown, again, around that cavernous sinus area, which is a very difficult place for surgeons to get to without compromising your life. It is close to the right optic nerve again. And he has to have surgery. Now, the good news is that it's not emergent like it was back 9 years ago when it was bleeding and actively causing major issues that he couldn't live with. Now it's small, subtle, symptoms, and the tumor needs to be removed and he needs to have radiation afterwards so that they could get rid of the part that's near the cavernous sinus. So that's a lot, right? And at the same time that all this was going down, my father living in Australia he and his wife, due to a lot of different reasons with the way that, retirement happens in Australia with women, they ended up having to get a divorce. And my father moved back to the US and lives with us now. So part of me is like, thank God my dad's here, because it is somebody else that's here. It's been a big adjustment for all of us, but we're all doing really well with it. But now I got to try to manage through, how do I get through this fact that the man I've been married to for 21 years, been together for 23 years, has to have this major surgery again. And, it's a lot. It's just a lot to handle, a lot. And so I really felt like, I can figure out ways to use my yoga practice like I always have in the past, to ground my energy, to keep me patient with myself, to keep me showing up for others without hanging this heavy cloud of darkness over people. Like, I don't ever want to feel like I'm a burden to someone else, right? I don't always ask for help. But through all of this, last Tuesday, I forgot to set my alarms. And I set 4 alarms every morning to get up and go teach, because I'm a freak and I'm very worried about oversleeping. And this was the first time in my career that I forgot to set alarms. And I woke up late, and it was super stressful. And the stress stayed with me. I can still feel the stress in my stomach right now. Like, if I think about it, I can feel it. It's like a lead balloon sitting in my gut. This, like, fear or just disappointment in myself, disappointment that I didn't show up for others. I ended up being 4 minutes late. Everyone's forgiving. No one had a hard time. No one had a shitty experience. I tried not to bring the energy into the space before I came in, but it's still a lot. And it was me not setting my alarms was my wake up call. I need to really focus in on how can I use my yoga practice to really help ground me. And I've been doing certain things. I've been meditating during the day. Like, if I have 10 minutes in between clients, I'll go outside and I'll sit and meditate for 10 or 15 minutes in silence. I've been journaling more. I've been, really focused in on taking care of myself from the inside out. But I think the hardest part for me right now is there's a lot of people that are relying on me to hold it together. And that is where
You need your practice, and you need your coping mechanisms and everything that you've brought, right?
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
How do you think the 10-minute meditations in the day are they helping? Are they
Oh, yeah.
hurting? Are they?
Oh,
Yeah.
no. For me, like, quiet stillness is not easy, right? Just, but I make it a point to do it outside so that I'm in nature. I can hear in nature. I can feel the wind and the breeze and the sun. I set an alarm again so that I don't stay too long, or I don't stay long enough. I stay as long as I need to in that moment. And it's been a really good thing, because I can't control anything that's going on right now when it comes to his health or the next steps. Like, the next steps are, he's got a neurosurgeon appointment here in San Antonio in a couple weeks. I'm really hoping that they see the urgency in the situation that the doctors in Chicago saw, and that they get him in and have the surgery right away. It's about a 6-week-long recovery, and then it's radiation. But I can't do anything about any of that right now. I don't know when it's going to be. I don't know what the side effects are going to be. I don't know, what time of day it's going to be, where are the kids going to be, where's my dad going to be, what am I going to have dinner, breakfast? I don't fucking know anything. And so when I feel those feelings of overwhelming, that's when I have to be quiet, and I have to go away from people. I need my own space. I've really, which I think is kind of like a blessing and a curse at the same time, because I also find that I will lean into alienating myself, right? Like, I put a lot into being present with my clients and being present at my job. And then when I come home, that's when I'm like, I need to be outside and I need to be quiet for a while. And I'm noticing that quiet time for a while is like, I don't want to leave that time. I don't want to get back into life. I'm struggling with that. I'm struggling with the fact that, like, I'll make plans and then I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to leave. I don't want to get dressed. I don't want to do my hair. I just want to sit. And so I struggle with that. Is that okay? Can I just do that? Or do I need to push myself and get out there?
Yeah, I feel like it's both. What do you say,
Yeah.
Natalie?
Yeah, it's both. I it's like all things, you need a balance. I think in general, getting out there and keeping your commitments is a good thing. Um,
Now, see, that's the
uh,
thing. I can do
It's a
that with
tether.
work, right? I can do my commitments with work, but it's like
right. No,
personal commitments is where I'm
yeah, I'm
like,
talking about, no, I
yeah,
am
yeah.
talking about personal. I do think in general, keeping those personal commitments is a healthy thing, because when you're surrounded by other people, it's much harder for you to be in your head.
Mhm.
And I'm speaking from personal experience, and
Yeah.
part of why you don't want to go is because when you're alone, you're sitting outside and you're alone, you can really fall down that emotional rabbit hole.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You can just spiral and feel all the feels. And when you get out, you have to pretend to listen to other people talk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing is
But
I feel like I listen and I can almost escape my own reality by being in other people's realities, right?
absolutely.
But then where I
And you
think
should.
the disconnect is then is that when I get home and I'm outside, I'm not thinking about anything. That's what's weird. Like I thought I would start to spiral, and I've done that a few times where I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But then like because of my yoga practice and because of the fact that I've learned that I can only control what I can react and respond to, right? I can't control anything else. I can't control the doctors. I can't control the tumor. I can't control my husband or my family or anything, but I can control my reaction and response. Where I find myself going is no response. Just let me be by myself. Let me just sit there. Let me just sit outside. Let me just breathe.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
that's okay too, because it takes time to process,
Yeah.
and everybody's process meter is shorter, longer, depending on what it is that you have to swallow. And because there's so much unknown with what you have to deal with right now, um, I can see that being a lot longer time where you do need to just sit with your feels to
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, you can't stay there
I know. I know.
because that's also not good to stay
No.
there too
You
long.
just give yourself some grace.
Mhm.
Get up as often as you can. Keep those social commitments as often as you can. Um, because often you're going to be with people who want the best for you.
Mm.
But on the occasions that you can't, that it just doesn't happen, then be forgiving of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it just being here in this spot is what I need right now, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
But each hour, each commitment, each occasion is a second chance to go. It's not like I passed something up today, so that means I've given up and I'm just
Mhm.
going to be committed to sitting
Mm.
here now.
Hmm.
I mean, you have a chance to get up and join into life over and over and over again during the day. And so do it as often as you can, and be gracious with yourself when you can't.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I feel like too, where, because I teach early and I'm gone early and then I come home, then I have this immense amount of guilt of like, well, I wasn't there during the day and now they're home and they want my attention. And I don't feel like I can show up in the ways that I need to unless I have this buffer of like my own time in between, right? But that in between used to not be as long. Now it feels like it's longer. And then I feel like I feel this guilt of like, well, I spent all this time with people at work and then I came home and I spent all this time by myself or just quiet. And then now I've got to try to interact with the family again and try to hold space for them who are also trying to decide like, how the fuck are we handling this? And how is this
Mhm.
all going to go down? And having different people in the house that have different ways of handling things one gets super emotional, the other gets really quiet, the other's like, let's help out. So it's just a strange place for me to be right now. And my yoga practice, my breathing practice, my meditation, my movement practice. And honestly, one thing that's helped me a lot has been gyrotonic, like doing a little bit of gyro every week and practicing that and that idea of moving energy in my body. And that's really the only thing that I can control right now, right? I can't control what's
Yes.
going to happen. And that lack of control of other things really is the beauty of the yoga practice. It's life. It's like you're in a fucking whirlwind tunnel or like a snow globe and everything is shaking around you. But yet you've got to find that calm stillness within. Yeah.
And maybe it's okay if your house isn't okay. If the people who live in your home right now,
Yeah.
maybe it's okay if that atmosphere isn't okay.
Yeah. That's so true.
Absolutely. I think also, like what we were talking about earlier, is remembering to ask yourself, what do I need right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Just deal with that maybe and
Yeah.
sit with that and figure it out. And instead of trying to figure out everything at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I feel like too, like my idea of like failure to launch on social activities lately has been really bad. It's like homecoming stuff was this weekend, and I didn't want to go to the football game Friday night, and then we had people at our house, and then it was I don't want to go down to get the pictures made. I don't want to go do this. I didn't want to go do that, and like I find myself as I've gotten older, the more time that I'm gone during the day, and then I come home. And then if I'm expected to leave my house again, I don't want to do it. Like, I just don't. Like right now, I'm literally at like, I'm home. I don't want to leave. Come see me. I don't want to go anywhere. And I got to get out of that, I think, at some point.
Well, yeah, maybe not when you're trying to deal with all of the things that you're trying to deal with.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Right.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of out of the ordinary that's happening to you right now that's out of your control. And
Well,
you have to remember that.
Yeah. And physically, right? Like physically, I've had, really bad hips, and I've had 3 hip surgeries. And over the past like 6-8 months, I've noticed my right hip's gotten a lot worse. And I know it's time to do something about it, but there is not physical time for me to do that right now to get my hips replaced, So then it's like living in that
needs to be in
pain.
and also your stress level is going to increase that pain. I mean, it just is.
Mm-hmm.
It just is.
It totally
the
does.
fact that the fact that pain has increased doesn't necessarily mean that the injury has gotten worse.
100%.
I mean,
also a great point.
You're just going to be feeling pain right now. It's just, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. So then it's like, my dad loves to go shopping. My kids love to go shopping. They want to go to the mall. And I'm like, I don't want to go to the mall because I have to walk. And when I'm walking outside, like, or if I'm walking in a hard, like a Walmart or Target or, a Nordstrom or some sort of store, it's like that pain starts to hit more for me. So then I'm like, I don't want to go out and do that, but I want to spend time with them. But then I don't want to go do that. And then I have this like immense guilt. And then it's like, how do I get out of this headspace? And so, like you said, it's grace, ?
Yeah, I think maybe it isn't the going out shopping with your dad that's really the problem. I think it's the guilt.
Yeah.
I mean, your dad is there, which is unusual.
Mm-hmm.
And so he can have this time doing something he and the grandchildren enjoy together. Like, you don't need to be a part of that equation.
Yeah.
There isn't anything about that equation that requires you. And it gives you the space to figure out, what do I need right now? What do I need right now? Do I need silence? Do I need movement? Your family's giving you hours.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
So the only problem is the guilt.
Yeah.
So how do you, as a yogi, get past the guilt?
I know. I mean, like I said, the things that I've been practicing have helped, right? I found myself in the past when my practice wasn't as strong and when things would go wrong in my life, I would spiral in thoughts, constantly spiraling in thoughts. And as I've gotten older, I've been able to, you know, pause a little bit more and realize, like, what do I keep saying? Like, there's been a couple of different sayings that I've been saying in my head lately, but it's always been like, you know, you can't change the weather, but you can change how you dress for it, or how you're ready for it. So it's like I can't change things that are happening around me, but I can only change how I react in my response. And I'm doing the best I can with the tools that I have. And movement for me is a great way, but I also have to be very mindful of the movement because I can't overdo it with my hip, and so are my hips. And so it's this kind of like little bit of a roller coaster of feelings, and I'm a feeler for sure. Like physically, I feel it in my body. So like I said earlier, that lead balloon feeling of like, oh my gosh, it's 5:33 and I have to be at class and I live so far away and I still have to get up and get my shit together. And oh my God, I didn't have time to like make sure my sequence was prepped. I didn't write it all down. It's just kind of in my head. What am I going to do? And I just was like, it is what it is in this moment. And when I was about to walk into the class and I took that breath, I was like, I don't have to be perfect for them to have an experience that
There
they
you
need
go.
to.
That's what you need to remember. I
Yeah.
mean, none of us are anyway.
Right. It's not like I'm trying to be
Perce-
perfect. Right.
Perfection's an illusion anyway.
Yeah. Oh my God. I
But
never
yeah,
thought about being perfect, but I think it's more about like the, presence of being myself and why I'm there, and not getting caught up in I got to, make it the most crazy sequence, or I got to make it the wackiest transitions, or I have to make it with the best theme and the best intention or the best playlist. It's like, no, I just need to put the effort into it that I put into it with my students in mind and with myself in mind. And that's kind of where I feel like, thinking about intentions and themes of classes and like what is the message. I've been saying a lot lately that to me, yoga is connection, it's community. Some of
Mhm.
my best friends I've met on the mat next to me, and being
Mhm.
able to have that deeper connection with someone without even really knowing them fully, but having that deep connection of yoga love, that to me has been the message I've been talking about, you know.
Well, let's get you on the mat.
Exactly.
Get you
Exactly.
on the mat. Let's uh, block off some time.
Yeah. That's what I need for
Let's do
sure.
that.
So
Let's do that.
this episode was not supposed to be like woe is me. I just feel like I would be inauthentic to not
Mhm.
share the shit that's going on in my life when I'm asking people to come on this podcast and share shit that's going on or has gone on in their life. And like we've talked about before, yoga is definitely something that's ever changing and ever evolving in my life and in anybody's life that experiences it, whether it's, you're on it hardcore with fast, sweaty yoga, or you're on it hardcore with quiet, still practices. It is a great tool in my toolbox that I'm incredibly grateful to have learned and to embrace and to give myself that ability to not sit in stew.
Well, let's
Yeah.
let's set up some time. October um, is quiet for me, and I can make time for you.
Thank
We
you.
can do a practice together or meditation together. Um, and I know that you said gyrotonics is helping, and Nora.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. All the time. It is movement. I mean, like you said, and that's how we all know each other is through movement. But the different movement modalities that we're gifted to know. I mean, we have we have an extreme um bench,
Yeah.
so we can just tap another and then here we go. And any of us at any moment are ready to jump in and help in any way that we can. I think that's probably the point. I mean, I out of everybody here, I'm the one that's not a yoga teacher, but what I do know is that there's no perfection in yoga either.
Right.
It's a practice. And so it is what it is every single day. And it is whether it's whatever you're bringing emotionally to the mat, or whether it's a certain ache or pain that you're trying to work through, like physically in your own body, or if it's like just time away where you can focus on yourself instead of what everybody else is asking of you. It continues to be the thing that helps to save lives.
Yeah.
It's not just it's something that changed your life 20 years ago. It's
Right. Right.
it's still here. It's still relevant. It's still happening every day with whatever comes up. And I think that's probably the message that you're trying to get to your listeners and to your clients and to your coworkers and your family.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank God that I have the tools in my toolbox that I was taught, and that I have people around me that have that same feeling and that same energy and that same love for, growing and getting, getting to the root of who we are and really showing up for each other.
Absolutely.
Thanks, you guys. I appreciate you holding this time for me so that I can kind of word vomit all my shit on everyone. And hopefully, if you as a listener out there have any other
That was a great
suggestions.
You mean show that you're human like all the rest of
Exactly.
us? Yeah.
Yeah.
Life keeps happening.
Yeah. I always say, if you're looking for a yoga guru, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm just a woman who loves yoga. And I'm not perfect, and I don't ever plan to be. But if you're out there listening and you have anything that you think would help in any of the things that you've heard on any of our episodes, or even for me on this episode, I'm open. I'm open for sharing. I'm open for listening and trying new things. And I appreciate more than they'll ever know my team at work and my team here, Natalie and Nora and Mia, and everything that you guys have done by helping me and you don't make me feel like I'm a burden, which is a really
Absolutely not a burden,
big
not at all.
thing.
Not
Not
even
at
a
all.
little bit.
Well, thanks. Well, that was it. I just wanted to kind of give that little update on what's going on and how.
Well, we love you, Adrienne, and thank you for sharing, and thank you for giving us an opportunity to help. I think everybody understands as a friend, and you're watching someone struggle, and all you want is the opportunity to help. So thank you for reaching out and giving us the opportunity to help
Thanks.
and be a friend.
Thanks,
I
guys.
second that.
Well, you're stuck with me, so you fuckers are going to have to help me. All right. Thanks, yogis. Thanks for listening.